yeah, my first client, lovely Lindy, she came in all enthusiastic and she did so well. I hadn't actually started mine. I don't know why and you just said, just start. So I did. I think it was maybe, 4 weeks later or something, because she had such great results. And she just said, I came into your clinic dragging myself across the floor, it felt like. And within a week, I was feeling fabulous. So, her results inspired me to start. And, I'm not going to lie, the first couple of days were pretty rough. But within that week, I dropped, I think, 2.5 kilo in that first days or whatever. And then within that week, this energy that had been missing for so many years suddenly started to come back that first 2 weeks. And I was sitting on the couch watching some TV and I could feel this fluttering here. And I thought, what is this?
On your throat. So you're fluttering where your thyroid is, basically.
So I think the inflammation was reducing and allowing the thyroid to work again, because I had tried some thyroxine. I felt dreadful on that. And so I was just doing the natural way. And it basically was coming back to life, I would call it. And the energy, like my husband said, who is this woman? It's my wife. God, this person's a mate. Because I was there dusting everything and, all the stuff that had been neglected for years. And, just amazing. And I think I dropped about 8.5 kilos in 5 weeks, 13 kilos in 10 weeks, and then I went on to drop another 19 in 5 months, I think it was. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Metabolic Balance Stories podcast. This is where we share real stories and insights into metabolic balance, into the stories and the results that you can have with metabolic balance and personalised nutrition. I'm Cherry Wills, I'm your host, and I'm delighted today to welcome Jeannette Scapens to join me. Jeannette is a wonderful metabolic balance practitioner, coach based down in Adelaide in South Australia. And she has, you came on board, I think, Jeannette, a good maybe six years ago, I think. It was 2018, I think.
Yes.
2018. Yeah, it was
Yes.
2018. Because you had graduated your naturopathy degree in 2017.
17, yes.
And I just think it's so wonderful because you're 60 now and you came to naturopathy as your third career, or
Yes,
and I
second.
don't actually know the story of how you came to naturopathy. So
So
I'd love to know that.
Yeah, so I was actually a children's librarian
Okay.
in a public library, and we all had to reshelve books each morning, and then there was once a week shelf checking, putting them all in their Dewey Decimal order. But I discovered all these wonderful books about health. And of course, I was raised in the allopathic medicine way, and I'd get sick every autumn with bronchitis. Then there was antibiotics and just this repeated cycle of getting sick and that. And then I sort of thought, I think there's another way, and then I started reading the books about ways to boost your immune system and things like that. So that sort of tweaked it all for me. And then I sort of started seeing a naturopath on and off. And just sort of over the years like that, and trying the natural ways, just simple ways, zinc, vitamin C. And then I discovered echinacea to help, support the immune system, that sort of thing. And it broke that cycle for me of getting sick all the time. So that was really good. And of course, having children, I think that's possibly where my health journey to become a naturopath sort of started. Just didn't quite get I had very difficult pregnancies with severe morning sickness. So, of course, that's nutrient depletion. I'm not getting all the nutrients I need. Ended up postnatal depression both times. And something after my second son, like I just couldn't relax. It was anxiety. Um, I just couldn't relax. And I think the thyroid was doing its last hurrah or something,
Okay.
trying
Yeah.
to ramp up and give its last go. But that's sort of when I started to notice, I wasn't quite right. And, I'd have periods of fatigue and I'd go to the doctor and say, something's not right. Oh, well, no, your blood tests are all fine, your thyroid's fine, and that sort of thing. And then as time went by, I think it was 2011, I really got very unwell and was uh, basically on the couch for 6 weeks, heart racing, blood pressure up, feeling very ill, raised liver enzymes and that sort of thing. And my doctor actually called me a puzzle, so um, that was very helpful.
Yeah.
That sort of was where I was forced to, take note of and think, well, what's going on? What do I really want to be doing? And that was when I sort of started to see a naturopath and an acupuncturist and that, and that sort of triggered my yearning to become a naturopath, I guess, because I started to, improve a little and that.
Yeah. It's a very
And so,
common route, actually, I think, for so many naturopaths and
mm,
natural medicine practitioners, that we start off this, we know the feeling of just that functional ill health, because you were
yeah,
still a mum, still working, still
mm,
going about your day, but
yeah,
that
something,
optimal health was not there at all.
yeah, yeah. And like, so I'd sort of take a multivitamin or B vitamins for a bit, and that would sort of pick me up, and I'd keep going and that. And a lot of, stress, like my mum had leukemia. So, there was the difficult pregnancies, then she had leukemia. And as we know, stress is the key driver of dis-ease.
It certainly
So
can be. Yeah, it can be a
I
very
think,
strong driver. Yeah.
yeah, and I think
Mm.
that maybe triggered what I came to learn I had Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune driven dysregulation of the thyroid. So it's blocking it, attacking it, and giving those hyperthyroid underactive symptoms. And things just really went downhill at that time when I was really unwell.
So
And
when were you diagnosed with the Hashimoto's?
well, I didn't really get diagnosed. They just sort of said the liver, all sorts of things were out, and then that's when I started studying to become a naturopath, and um, and I was still working a bit, and then qualified, as you said, in 2017, and I had gained a massive amount of weight, like near 100
Okay.
kilo.
Oh,
So,
goodness. Yeah.
um,
Okay.
and puffy, dark rings always around under my eyes, for aching all over my body like I'd moved a house and I hadn't. Um, Plantar fasciitis that I tried shockwave therapy on my feet 3 times a week. That did nothing. And my heart was affected. That was probably the main thing that drove me, kept going back to the doctor. Struggled to walk 100 meters without chest pains and that sort of thing. And so that was all investigated, and they kept saying there's nothing wrong and things like that. But and I started practicing. So took some supplements, made some adjustments to diet, and improved a little bit. But then it wasn't until I sort of started to get clients who needed to lose weight as well. And then I sort of reached out to colleagues, and I think the lovely Jane Jarvis said, I know what's the what you need to train in, and that's metabolic balance. So I did that early in 2018 and came up for my implementation day and
Yes, that's right.
was
That was when we were doing it in person and you came to
yes,
Queensland.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and received my certificate from you, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that
And we've got
night,
a photo, I think, that
mm,
we're showing
yeah,
of that, of
of that,
you
yeah, and you can,
graduating with me. Yeah.
yeah, and you can see I'm very puffy, swollen, yeah, very overweight, and that night was when I got my first metabolic balance client to book in. So I made a post and saying, fantastic program. I'm so excited and can't wait to, start myself. And yeah, my first client, lovely Lindy, she came in all enthusiastic and she did so well. I hadn't actually started mine. I don't know why I was, and you just said, just start. So I did. I think it was maybe, I don't know, 4 weeks later or something, because she had such great results. And she just said, I came into your clinic dragging myself across the floor, it felt like. And within a week, I was feeling fabulous. So, yeah, her results inspired me to start. And, I'm not going to lie, the first couple of days were pretty rough. But within that week, I dropped, I think, 2.5 kilo in that first days or whatever. And then within that week, this energy that had been missing for so many years suddenly started to come back that first 2 weeks. And I was sitting on the couch watching some TV and I could feel this fluttering here. And I thought, what
Well,
is
so on your
this?
throat, so yeah,
Yeah.
the fluttering where your thyroid is basically.
So
Yeah.
I think the
Mhm.
inflammation was reducing and allowing the thyroid to work again, because I had tried some thyroxine. I felt dreadful on that. And so I was just doing the natural way. And it basically was coming back to life, I would call it. And the energy, like my husband said, who is this woman? It's my wife. God, this person's a mate. Because I was there dusting everything and,
Mhm,
all
mhm,
the
mhm.
stuff that had been neglected for years. And yeah, just amazing. And I think I dropped about 8.5 kilos in 5 weeks, 13 kilos in 10 weeks. And then I went on to drop another 19 in 5 months, I think it was. Yeah. So, but yeah, and rediscovered all these lovely clothes in my wardrobe. I think I got down 4 dress sizes in that time as well. So, yeah, but the best part was it encouraged other women who had been struggling with their weight and energy and perhaps thyroid, because I tend to attract ladies who have an issue and might not know they have it, or they do know and they just don't feel great on thyroxine. And yeah, so they all started coming and just watching their transformation, their smiling faces as they came in the clinic and excited to tell me how great they were feeling. And that's sort of where it started. And what is that, sort of 8 years later, almost 7 years later. And yeah, I still, enjoy the amazing transformations that my clients achieve. And, some of them, it's just a bit of weight and improvement of energy and just feeling more confident in themselves. And others are massive transformations. So, one of the key ones that's more recent is Serena, um, who's a nurse, and she dropped, I'll just get her details up, 14 kilos in 2 months. And she said, I just felt old, stiff, and ancient. That was her words, because I love to get clients' actual words because they really describe the way they're feeling. And, and yeah, 20 centimeters off her waist, 19 off her hips. And she just kept going with her plan. And over 6 months, she dropped 23 kilos. And
Yeah.
her words
Mhm.
were, I just feel amazing.
Mm. And I think it's what the life that people get back. So it's a bit like you said, your husband saying, "Who is this woman that's suddenly my wife in my house?"
Yeah,
It's the life you get
she's
back.
returned.
Yeah, yeah. You actually
Yeah,
feel alive again,
yeah.
like you should.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's right. It's all about living your best life, not
Mm.
struggling through your
Yeah,
day and
yeah, yeah,
yeah. And there
yeah,
is a solution, which is metabolic balance, like, just eating the right foods for you and to help nourish your body and bring it back to balance. And that's why my business name is Balance Health Naturally, because it's about bringing the body back to balance naturally. And the body knows what to do. If you give it the right nutrients and support, it will reward you.
yeah.
I'm
I
living
mean, that's
proof.
yes. I often say, really all we do is we give somebody some great food that's really identified with them, and then we sit back and see what their body does with that. And like in your case, very quickly you were feeling, feeling the benefits of it, and your
It
thyroid
was
was
it was
clearly happy too.
so fast. Like, yeah, as I said, within a week and then 2 weeks, like I was actually like itching to go for a walk and
Yeah.
and like
Mm, mm.
walking distances I hadn't walked in a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so over the past 7, 8 years, what is the key sort of, probably challenges do you think that are in play for many of your clients? And, how has that turned into opportunities is probably where I'm kind of thinking, because you've worked with many women, and I think, your speciality is also working with that sort of
Yeah, the midlife
postmenopausal
woman.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, so a lot of them, it's very much about as mothers and that we're more carer, seem to be more the carer, nurturer, and we tend to put ourselves to the end of the list, the to-do list in the day, working, running a house, racing kids around to sport, school, whatever. And there's not really a lot left in the tank at the end of the day. And it's sort of like when you become like with my own situation, I wasn't able to do a lot. My husband had to take over, cooking the dinner and all that sort of thing to keep things going. And you don't want it to come to that situation where, you know, you have to really be given a good boot to review everything and make the necessary changes so that you do feel great and then you're able to do everything you need to do in your busy day, I think. Yeah,
yeah. And
it's
that's probably one of my little passions of sharing, that we often aren't doing the real self-care that we actually need. Because, I don't know how you feel about this, but self-care, when a lot of, people talk about self-care, they might say, "Oh, I'm gonna give myself a nice bubble bath," or, "I'm going to take, go for a walk," even, whatever.
mm,
To
which are
me, that
great,
is
but
it's the
yeah,
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like,
mm,
it's
little
good.
things. Yeah,
But
yeah,
actually, it's not really truly caring for ourselves, is it? Just doing the odd bubble bath. Actually, or lighting a candle, or doing some, or going off for a massage. I love all of that stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
but
But
it's only temporary.
self-care, yeah, it's only temporary and it's short-lived. And self-care really needs to be, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis to care for your nourishment, for your water and your food? That is the real thing that's going to support you in your day.
Mm, yeah, and I think that's where clients, when they realise that, they go that sort of the light turns on and, um, they just g when they start feeling great, they just say, "I don't wanna feel crappy anymore." Like,
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and again, stress is a key to, the problem, and that's raising cortisol and disrupting sleep, which I get a lot of clients with that. And so there are the practices to help, reduce that. But the key is the food. That's our building blocks. So if you're not nourishing yourself properly, the rest can't really happen or,
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, even just come back to your lovely client, Serena, what could you remember sort of how her life changed? Kind of like what was the real why? You said, she felt terrible, but
Yeah,
did
she
she,
felt stiff, old and ancient.
but how old was she when she was feeling that?
I think she's only about 51
Yeah, exactly. That's so young.
and very busy lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
She actually looks like a different person. Like
Yeah.
when I saw the photo, I just flabbergasted, and she said, "Yeah, people have walked past me that know me." So,
And what and
yeah,
yeah, yeah, and what
she
about
fit us. It's been
some other clients? Have you got any
yeah.
other cool stories to share with us?
Yes, there's so many. I've got so many, because a lot of the clients that come to me have such a great transformation. I say, "Look, let's get the word out there," because there's so many people suffering that if they only knew that it was simply changing their food and that they could feel better, let's let them know. So, yeah,
Mhm,
I know
mhm.
you interviewed Fleur.
Oh,
She,
yes, of course, the
yeah,
wonderful Fleur, yes.
she only wanted to really lose, 5 kilos, so we just did the shorter plan and a 5 consult one, but, yeah, she was really hard to convince actually because she was referred to me and she sort of inquired, and then I think she came back maybe a year later or a few months later and she said, "No, what I've tried everything, it's not working. I've gotta trust that this is gonna do the job," and, yeah,
Mhm.
it did. It
Yeah,
surpassed her expectations, so
yeah. Well, exactly,
she's
she
been
came.
thrilled.
Yeah, so we'll put a
Mm,
little link in the show notes to
Fleur.
Fleur's,
Yeah.
podcast recording, because I love
Yes.
talking to Fleur, 'cause, she was also sharing that she was pretty skeptical in the beginning, and then it's
She
just like,
was.
"Oh, this is actually working," and that's
Yeah.
so what we get, isn't it? I mean, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a there's a s there's a disconnect. I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? There's a disconnect sometimes with people recognizing how much their actual everyday food really impacts their health.
Mm. Like people say, "Well, I eat healthy and I'm exercising, but is it the right food for them and their
Yeah,
biochemistry?" Yeah.
yeah.
We're
That's
all
funny,
different.
isn't it? That's the thing. "Oh, yes, I eat healthily." Well, how do you know that that is the right food for you? I mean, this is this general message out there that everybody in the world should just eat the same healthy diet. And that doesn't even make any sense when you just stop for 2 seconds and think about it. You go, well, everybody from all different sort of backgrounds and genetics and ethnicities, everybody should eat cucumber and lettuce and tomato and chicken breast. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
And every day,
Yes. I'm like,
that's my go-to
that's a
lunch.
yeah,
But
that's a
as I
standard idea of
yeah,
a
or
healthy lunch,
tuna.
isn't it?
Tuna's a good one.
Oh, yeah,
I
tuna
just
and
have that at
avocado.
work.
Avocado is
Yeah.
the other one that people
But
like to throw in. Yeah.
the body likes variety. It doesn't like the same things. It likes to be kept on its toes and then it will do its job. The
Yes.
metabolism will do its job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, one recent client, I won't say his name because I haven't got permission, but I'll call him Steve. He was sent by his wife who had dropped um she had Hashimoto's and didn't realise, and I did some extra blood tests and discovered that. So her plan was targeted for that and then based on her bloods as well. And he'd been struggling with weight for a long time and had been on Ozempic for, I think it was 3 years, and the weight had plateaued. And this is what I'm finding with some clients now. that come to me. They've tried that. It's not continuing and come off. He is a truck driver, so very, in and out the truck and doing unpacking it and all that sort of thing. So carrying that extra weight is a bit of a burden and slows him down. And in 1 month, 9.2 kilos he dropped.
Yeah. So
And he was just grinning.
he'd been on Ozempic for 3 years?
Yeah, had
And then
dropped some weight, but
Yeah.
it's halted. And his wife said, "Look, just go and see Jeannette. Like, go get your own plan, and she'll sort you out." And that particular month, 9.2 kilo, and he was grinning from ear to ear, and he said, "I can actually bend over without losing breath. Like,
Yeah.
the tummy
That
was
is what
stopping him breathing."
that's what are we talking about? That's the bit that is, because everybody has all shapes and sizes in this world, and it's wonderful. It is not about sort of this horrible diet culture or just saying, everybody needs to be the same size or some kind of strange perfect weight. That doesn't even exist. It is actually, what do you need for your day-to-day great quality of life that you can really do what you want to do, feel how you want to feel, get around in the way that you want to get around.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so I remember having a client actually that she talked about the difficulty just bending over to do her shoes up with this, because and she wasn't that big, but because she had a fairly small frame, and over that sort of menopause time, she had put on about 8-9 kilos, which didn't sit comfortably with her. And when she was trying to bend over, I remember her saying it was just this middle bit that was just so uncomfortable and getting in the way. And and that was the thing that was so motivating for her. It's just like, oh my God, I just feel good. I feel good within myself.
Another thing that's come up with other clients, like grandparents, like when they're looking after their little grandchildren, they can't get down on the ground and get up again. And if the child takes off, it's not. So that was a safety thing for a couple of my clients, actually,
Oh,
that they
wow.
did it. Yeah.
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 One of them, Christine, she dropped, I think it was 23 kilos, but that was one of her goals because of that problem. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
important.
then you get on top of that, it's not just the mobility back, but
Mm.
you also get the longevity and the wellness
Yes,
and the energy and the years ahead of
yes, yeah,
spending with your grandkids as well.
yeah. That's key, because I get my clients to do a goal setting exercise and really go deep into their whys. What is it going to give them? What does it mean for them? And visualizing themselves at their goal weight as well, what they feel look like, because I incorporate neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis if the client is happy to incorporate that. And that really, you know, putting their goal in their actual timeline, that's a key for them, and they come out of that and they say, "Yes, it's going to happen." And, so that's really good, but it's very important for people to understand this is not a quick fix diet or anything. This is for now and the future and their future health, and, yeah, we don't wanna be old and on lots of medications and, just existing. We wanna be living,
Yeah.
definitely. One of
'Cause
my goals
you've just
was,
turned 60, haven't you? I
yeah,
just wanted to
yeah,
share
yeah.
that.
So
You've just turned 60, yeah.
I actually feel and look better than I did before I started Metabolic Balance. I think I've got a photo, I think, on my website showing me at my 51st birthday, I think it is. And you can see I'm just puffy, dark rings under the eyes, just really unwell. And yeah, everyone says, "Oh, you look amazing. You can't be," clients saying, "What? You're 60?" Yeah. So
And yeah.
yeah, it's really good feeling. And yeah. So another there was another client that I was going to speak about, and now TJ. Yeah, because I do see a lot of ladies that going through perimenopause, menopause, and after. So I think my eldest client was 87. That was a male whose partner sent him to me, but Mary, she had ended up doing the Kokoda Trail after doing her metabolic balance plan.
Oh, how exciting.
It's
That's a bit of
amazing.
a bucket list
Oh,
thing to be able to tick off.
when she said that, I thought, what? But yeah, one of my clients, I'm just using her initials, TJ. She was just told by her doctor that she was feeling bloated, tired, puffy, and her doctor said, "Well, this is what menopause is. You can take." Yeah, and she was doing high intensity interval training. That's you know that's something that a lot of ladies don't realise, but when the hormones change and the adrenal glands take over making the sex hormones, if you're under undue stress, it just doesn't make the sex hormones, and then you start to get high cortisol, and that's fat storing, and the insulin resistance as well with menopause. Yeah,
It's
and
just a
so she just
series of a cascade, isn't it? It's
yeah,
basically a
and
cascade of imbalance.
yeah, so she got her plan, ate the right foods for her, nourished her body, and I actually got her to stop like the high intensity training, and she was feeling amazing. I said, "You need more restorative sort of exercise, yoga, Pilates, weight
The strength
resistance,
training. Yeah.
walking." And she said, "This is the best I've felt in years." So unless you know, you don't know,
It's
you sort of think.
yeah. It's
You know,
finding the right balance for you, isn't it? That's what we do. Yeah.
and,
Mm.
the old way of in our 20s and 30s of, eating less and exercising more doesn't really work in the midlife and beyond. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, it's
yeah.
finding the personal, and that's what we do. So, yeah. So, it's been so lovely chatting to you, Jeannette. It's
Yes.
been amazing actually just supporting you over over the years as you've
Yes. Yes.
first training to be an MB practitioner and then through the
Yeah, I've
years of
sent many, many practitioners along to you and
Correct, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's
it's just the
always
best, as we know.
yeah. Yes. Well, I think
Mm.
that's it. Time and again, the results speak for itself.
Truly personalised,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So thank you
that's the
ever so
thing.
much. And if anybody would like to hear more from Jeannette, you can check out her website, which is Jeannette.
balancedhealthnaturally.com.au.
Okay, wonderful. And so get in touch with Jeannette. You can also find a practitioner near you as well on the Metabolic Balance website. So metabolic-balance.com or metabolicbalance.com, and you'll find it will take you you'll be able to find your practitioner or learn about becoming a practitioner yourself if you are a qualified health professional. So a big thank you again. It's been so much fun talking to you, and also I didn't know a lot of that background stuff at all. So it's kind of like it's just cool to hear that. So
Yeah.
and of course I'm just thrilled always that
Mm.
that you had the health benefits that you've had, because that's
That's
also
right.
what it's
That's
all about.
priceless, like,
It is.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. It is
But
wonderful.
seeing others also transform their lives and their health is so rewarding, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
why we do what we do, really.
It is. Wonderful. Thank you, Jeannette.
Yeah.
And thank you
Okay.
to everyone listening. And we will catch you again in the next Metabolic Balance Stories podcast. Take care.